Sky News has confirmed that a series of photos of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor in the latest round of the Epstein files to be released were in fact taken inside the convicted sex offender's New York mansion. Some of the images show the former prince leaning over a young woman lying on the floor. Rhiannon Mills has the latest.
We have been looking very closely, our data and forensics team, trying to pick apart exactly where those photos were taken. Of course, they were among the most, you would say, surprising, some would say shocking photos that emerged from that latest drop of Epstein files over the weekend, seeing the king's brother on all fours over a woman. There is no suggestion of any wrongdoing. The difficulty also, though, about those pictures is they're undated, so we don't know exactly when they were taken, and also the photos themselves didn't tell us exactly where they were taken. But now our team have been looking very closely at some of the specific details within that room to try and pick apart where it was, and have identified that it was Jeffrey Epstein's New York City mansion. Now, if we look at the photos, the images show kind of some distinctive white panelling, which is visible on the walls. Now, we've also managed to cross-check that white panelling with another photograph of Epstein having drinks with the Hollywood director Woody Allen and an identified woman. Also, you have to look at the design on the door as well. That in itself is quite distinctive, and also matches with the Woody Allen photo, but also other pictures that we found. So you can see there on the right-hand side of your screen, the picture that had Andrew in it, and then you can see another picture that was taken from Epstein's New York flat. And you can see how much work our team have gone into to make sure that we can clearly say to you that these were taken within Epstein's flat. So you've also got the curved leg of a golden table that also features in the Andrew photo, the checkered flooring, and as I said, the door design also matches as well, and that distinctive white panelling. And this in itself is just interesting because it builds again that bigger picture in terms of the contact that Andrew had with Epstein, the time that he spent with him. Of course, it's important to reiterate that in Andrew's latest public statement, which came back on the 17th of October 2025, Andrew reiterated that he vigorously denies any accusations against him. However, there is no doubt that this has been an incredibly difficult weekend for him, for the royal family, as we have been given this incredible insight, really, into the relationship that continued to exist between Epstein, Andrew, and also Andrew's ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson. But it is very telling that we can now confirm that those pictures were taken within Epstein's New York flat. Of course, one of the very famous photographs that we've had, other photographs of Andrew and Epstein, was taken in Central Park in New York back in December 2010. Now, in Andrew's Newsnight interview in 2019, he said that he was meeting him there in New York to honourably call off that relationship. However, as we've seen over this weekend, we now have more emails which show that the contact between the two men on a whole range of issues, basically general contact, business contacts, but also money, also potentially meeting up with other women, that relationship and those communications continued well past December 2010.